Hi, you've all been listening about the ongoing NEET exam protests and the student protests that are happening in Jantar Mantar, Delhi, and now all over India. Uh, I'm not going to talk about those protests. I'm going to talk about the actual issue at hand, the exam leaks. And what I've been doing for the past 2 months is basically researching possible solutions for these exam leaks and understanding what can be done to solve this problem once and for all. Before that, we have to understand what this problem exactly is and what are the salient features of this problem. First of all, this problem originated for NEET on the 3rd of May when the paper happened, and a lot of students realized that the questions that were there in the paper were similar to some questions that were floated on Telegram. And then they complained, and on the 12th or 13th of May the exam was cancelled, and then subsequently the government took the exam again in June. So this is the premise of the issue at hand. But is it just about this one example, or is it also just about this one governance issue? No. If you study the exam leaks across the last 2 decades, I went back, I was writing a paper on this entire issue, which I want to later on submit as a blueprint for solutions. So while researching this entire issue, what came to light was that this is not a one-off incident. Since 1997, there have been 45 major leaks in India and hundreds of small leaks. So this is a systemic governance problem, and it has happened across a lot of governments. It is not just the current government. And the problem is not at the government level, it is internally from the agency level. Every time that you see that the paper is leaked, there are certain weak factors, the weak links in the paper handling process where the papers could be leaked. In this case specifically, it was leaked by an internal NTA member she just gave the paper off to somebody from outside, and then the paper was circulated through WhatsApp and Telegraph to all the students. So now I want to bring to light a very major issue, that the weak links in this process have to be dealt with first. What are the weak links? Where the paper is generated, where it is transported, the actual centers, the people internal to the agencies, and the fifth and the most important part of this entire racket is the outside stakeholders, like the classes in this particular instance. And all the people are arrested, and I think the class person was also arrested yesterday. But the problem is, these stakeholders, the external stakeholders, are the ones who actually are able to circulate these papers to the students, because they have the data of the students in hand. Now when you see all these paper leaks for all these years that have been happening, what is consistent, that the punishments for this crime is almost zero. So out of the 45 cases that I am studying currently, there have been 147 registered cases and only one conviction. So you see why people are not afraid of doing this. We have to bring our law and to the level where these particular crimes are unimaginable for not just the internal stakeholders but to the students as well. There have been no repercussions for all these people who have leaked and taken advantage of these leaks. Has the government done nothing? No. In 2024, in fact, the government did bring out a law, the first law in fact in India, that dealt with this issue. It has been in 2024 June it became a law. But then what that law has achieved is, it's a wide range of law. It takes care of the paper-based exam also, and it takes care of the computer-based exam also. So everything about that law sounds good, but the problem is the implementation, the swift justice that is required in these kind of situations. So then I expanded my study to all over the world, the other exams that are conducted everywhere in the world. What are those people doing? Are they doing something different, or they are not facing these problems at all? Is it only a India centric issue? Then the answer is no. This is happening everywhere in the world. Even the developed countries, the developing countries, everywhere the problem is there. But what they do is, when the problem arises, they see where the systemic issue is and they solve that systemic issue so that the same problem doesn't arrive again. Because the cheating just doesn't happen in the paper leaks. The cheating happens in the exam centers. The cheating happens when the students are able to get answers over Bluetooth or other devices, listening devices. The cheating happens with manipulations of the marks after the particular exam has taken place. So the cheating is not just related to the exam leaks, but it is a very big type of nexus of this cheating. So every aspect of this cheating has to be dealt with, not just the leaks, so that this problem is resolved once and for all. So what do the governments across the world do? One, the most important thing that they have done is, of course, they have changed all their papers to computer based tests, which are more strictly monitored and less leak possibilities. But the swift justice, China itself, who claims for their exams, I just read somewhere they were criticizing the NEET leaks, but they have awarded 11,700 punishments to since 2015 to 2026. That means 11,600 offenders of cheating in their exams were there. But what they did is they punished them. So now the next person is afraid of doing something like this, right? The students also who are involved in this leaking of papers should be barred from these exams at least for the next 2 to 3 years. The parents should be punished who were the facilitators of buying these papers. And now let's move on to the next aspect of the problem. Why is MBBS, if we take this particular case study, such a prized possessions for all the students and a government seat, mind well? The reason why this particular seat is so coveted amongst the NEET aspirants is because of the cost difference between a government seat and a private seat. A government seat would cost you somewhere between 6,000 to 10,000 rupees, whereas a private seat could cost anywhere between 62 lakhs to 1.3 crores. So the difference is more than 1 crore. So of course it is easier to pay a bribe and take the seat then to pay for the private seat later. Do you understand why people are so desperate? And of course, the punishments are so less. I talk about this in my paper where I call it the pressure leak tactic. Also, the pressure is because the number of seats versus the number of students applying is very big. The gap is very big. It's in lakhs. A couple of thousand seats for a lakhs, 22 lakh aspirants, only a couple of thousand seats in the government and a couple of thousand seats in the private sector, right? So that cost parity is different. What could be done to solve this problem? Yes, first of all, increase the number of government seats. And secondly, also help the private institutions to lower their fees. Maybe not as much as the government seat, but somewhere close by, so that this difference is somewhere filled up. The next part is even the jobs that are covered after the exams. The salary difference for the government doctors and the salary difference for the private doctors is also huge. That's why our government college degree is more coveted. So you understand there are so many, the reason for cheating is very big. It is not just this small paper मिल गया तो मेरा मार्क्स अच्छा आएगा. That is not the only thing. This is a very big economic problem. And there are economics behind this problem, so those have to be resolved. So first I talked about the places where the leaks could happen, that needs to be controlled. Then the reasons why these leaks are happening, that needs to be controlled, and the punishments. Now I would like to come to solutions. What are the solutions for this issue? Are there no solutions? Are only going out in rain and the kids taken out in protests, are these the solutions? Well, that is one part of the solution, probably to move to a dialogue. But the main solution is coming up with a blueprint to solve this problem. In my paper, I talk about two possible solutions. The first possible solution is to look at the best practices all over the world and India. Mind well, there are best practices in India where the leaks are almost 0 to nil. A state like Goa that practices just-in-time system, what is just-in-time system I'll explain in a bit, but a place like Goa practices something called as just-in-time system and has very less leaks. So what is a just-in-time system? The paper generated by a single or one team, again the power in that team's hand is very high. So what we could do is just create a 50,000 to 1 lakh questions ka data bank and store it in a digital vault at a facility in NTA, of course. And an algorithm could be written to categorize those paper into those questions into A, B, C, D of difficulty level, and an algorithm can be written to randomly select questions from that question bank and generate 4 question papers randomly and very close to the exam timing, in some cases even on the day of the exam. And the papers could be printed right at the exam center and handed over to the students. What this will do, the lead time between the paper printed would be less, the transportation and all those leak points could be avoided, and the paper could be printed at the exam center, so the papers would be taken under video surveillance from that printing vault. Let's call that room a vault because it will be under video surveillance, and then paper could be taken and then directly it could be distributed amongst the students, and even the students would not know which paper they are getting out of the 4, and nor would the examiners know what questions are going to be there in that paper, because this is all going to be done by the software. Okay, so this is one part. The second is CBT, computer based test. So making 22 lakh aspirants computer available for each aspirant on the same time, or the exams could be taken in batches for 5-6 days, and the students could come over for 5-6 days and they could give their paper on the computer based test. Each student will have a completely different paper, and then a normalization matrix will be applied across the board so that those papers are then graded at a same level, just like GRE and GMAT. Nothing out of the world, it's already being done everywhere in the world. So these are the two solutions that are existing right now, and countries like Finland and even America with the SAT exams and Finland's national entrance exams, they all already have these in place. And countries like China and Japan, who still do the paper pen test, they have very strict rules and laws and swift justice if there is any cheating. So we have to have a many-fold solution for this one problem. Now let's look at the solutions. After the solutions, we come up with some. So apart from the fee regulations and increasing the seats and all those measures and the blueprints and all, what are the other things that the government can do, the education ministers and the ministry can do is, one, increase the number of pathways. So there is such a lot of premium on this one MBBS exam that all the students don't have an option to, if they want to go into the healthcare industry, try to get the other pathways to the healthcare industry at the same level as MBBS and make it as sortable. Okay, so instead of just putting all the premium on this one MBBS examination, let us come up with multiple pathways to get into healthcare industry and to show your to be a part of the healthcare industry, and the jobs that are created with those pathways should also be brought to the same parity with the same respect. A lot of countries like the US, UK, Germany have been able to achieve that. We can do a case study of those countries and cross comparison. A lot of intelligent people are out there and they'll be able to give you the statistics on those. And the last one is, first get those students to get themselves evaluated first if NEET is a good option for them or not. Just because I took bio, I have to do NEET is not the mindset that a lot of students and parents should go by. There are many other things through bio that they can do. A simple test can ease their concern if NEET is the right career for them or not. And that way they can set their expectations in the beginning before starting 11th itself. And that way all this heartbreak can be avoided. Everything can be brought back. But those kids that died, those parents will never get them back. And that is only the problem over here. It's not just NEET. JEE paper are getting leaked. There are papers, UPSC hai, right now the Punjab paper leaked happened. All these students spend a lot of time and money to study, and when all this leaks happen, they completely become disenfranchised by the system. We are a country that is developing, and we need our students to be strong and well educated. Of course, there are many points that are brought forward by very smart children about reservations and how that is affecting the education system itself. That's a completely different topic to be handled. But right now, let's just fix this examination process, and not just NEET, every examination process. So I pray to the government that please, and I have full confidence that you will do it, please fix this system, get the confidence of the students back, the real students, and also make sure that the law that you have brought in 2024 is implemented very strictly across the board without any prejudice or any to sum up my entire argument over here, this how to secure India's examination system is, one is diagnose these problems properly, then understand the pressure leak economy, understand the international benchmarks and our country's benchmarks as well, some states that are doing really good work, and then come up with the reforms and also a durable fix, not just for the examination leak process but for the entire mindset process around these examinations. Okay, thank you very much for giving me your time, and also I would like to take this opportunity to tell all the students, protest is your right, but solutions happen through dialogue, and dialogue should always be kept open. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.